सभी मजहब का एक ही स्टैंड है और वो है शांति और इंसानियत। ये बातें राइटर कुणाल पुरोहित ने अपने बुक में लिखा है। बता दें कि कुणाल पुरोहित ने अपने बुक में बेहतरीन तरीके से देश में चल रही सियासी नफरत को टारगेट करते हुए और आवाम को अवेयर करने के मकसद से किताब लिखा है। उन्होंने इस किताब में हिंदुत्व नैरेटिव को भी दर्शाया है और बताया है कि किस तरह से देश में राजनीति करवट ले रही है। उन्होंने आगे कहा कि देश में पिछले कुछ सालों से गाने और नारे ऐसे बनाए जाने लगे जिसमें नफरतें भरी होती हैं, जिससे भावनाएं आहत होती हैं, जिससे एक कम्युनिटी को टारगेट करके उकसाया जाता है। बता दें कि इस बुक का नाम एश पॉप है।
इस कार्यक्रम का आयोजन जानी मानी समाज सेविका व राजनीतिक हस्ती सायरा शाह हलीम के नेतृत्व में किया गया। बता दें, सायरा शाह हलीम बच्चों व महिलाओं के हित में कई उत्तम कार्य करती आई हैं। महिलाएं व बच्चे का भविष्य उज्जवल हो, यही उनका एकमात्र उद्देश्य है।
जी, ये बुक इसका नाम है एज पॉप, सीक्रेटिव वर्ल्ड ऑफ हिंदुत्व पॉप। ये बुक बेसिकली ये दिखा रहा है कि हिंदू राइट विंग ने पॉपुलर कल्चर के जो फॉर्म्स होते हैं, वो म्यूजिक हो, पोएट्री हो, वो बुक्स पब्लिशिंग हो, इन तीनों का इस्तेमाल कैसे किया है जिससे हिंदुत्व का जो मैसेज है वो गांव-गांव, घर-घर तक पहुंचे और वो ऐसे पहुंचे कि पता भी ना चले कि ये पॉलिटिकल प्रोपेगेंडा है। तो इस पे मैंने 4 साल रिसर्च किए हैं और इस पे मैंने एक किताब लिखी है। तो अच्छा, जी नहीं, बिल्कुल कहीं न कहीं क्या हो रहा है, फेस्टिवल्स का इस्तेमाल किया जा रहा है एक दूसरे में एक 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 नफ़रत की भावना को लेके आने में। जो फेस्टिवल हमेशा हमारे धर्म के बारे में थे, वो आज ऐसा हो गया कि किसी और को एक एक थोड़ा-सा नीचा दिखाना है। और ये बहुत ज़्यादा डिस्टर्बिंग ट्रेंड कहीं न कहीं हमको देखने मिल रहा है। नहीं, बिल्कुल कहीं न कहीं ऐसा हो रहा है कि जो हमारे भारत का जो अंडर 25 और 25 के नीचे का जो पॉपुलेशन है, वो करीब-करीब 50% पॉपुलेशन भारत का 25 के नीचे है। और उस पॉपुलेशन तक अगर आपको पहुँचना है तो गाना एक बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी ज़रिया बन जाता है, क्योंकि लोग गाने सुनते हैं, लोगों को गाने पसंद भी होते हैं और और ये गाने ऐसे होते हैं कि जिसमें एक भावना नफ़रत की और एक भावना गुस्से की, वो लेकर ये गाने चलते हैं और वो गाने अपने मतलब कोई कोई अच्छी वैल्यूज़ के लिए नहीं होते, लेकिन कहीं न कहीं एक दूसरे को लड़ाने के वैल्यूज़ के होते हैं। तो ये गाने काफ़ी ज़्यादा पॉपुलर हो जाते हैं क्योंकि ये गाने यूट्यूब पर बजते हैं, ये गाने इंस्टाग्राम पर है, अलग-अलग प्लेटफ़ॉर्म्स पे बजते हैं, जिससे कि यंग लोग इसको जल्दी से देख सकें। नहीं, वो जो चैप्टर है वो एक पर्टिकुलर आदमी के बारे में है। जब किताब पढ़ेंगे आप तो तब आपको समझेगा कि वो आदमी अपने आप को ऐसा सोच रहा है कि भारत में कल्चरल वॉर हो रहा है। और उसकी उसकी सोच ऐसी है कि जो हिंदू पॉपुलेशन है, वो कहीं न कहीं कल्चरल वॉर का हिस्सा बन रहा है और कल्चरल वॉर का टारगेट बन रहा है कि अलग-अलग लोग हिंदूज़ को टारगेट करना चाहते हैं। वो उसकी फिलॉसफी और वो उसकी सोच है।
In case you have any questions, and Kunal will be happy to answer the questions.
Hi, Kunal, that was indeed very engaging. I just have some basic, simple queries. One often has to face off late in school, alumni WhatsApp groups to people who you've grown up or your childhood, all reasonably moderate and supportive, and mostly NRS. And appalled to see most of my well-educated Harvard, Oxford going friends speak about rhetoric and wordology which is supported by historical data which they never had access to before. Which means this is possibly a very organized syndicate which is working. Yours is probably just the tip of the iceberg. Right? Now, how does one counter that? Because the rebuttals are often that you're not Hindu enough. Or, I find it very difficult, so I don't know. My family runs one of the biggest Hindu temple trusts in the state. And I am asked to prove my Hindutva. Hinduism versus Hindutva. They hardly recite one word in the Vedas. Now, fact is, how does one typically counter these narratives of that? आपने कभी इस्लामिक जिहादिस्ट का ग्रुप देखा है? ISIS का नाम सुना है? What does ISIS have anything to do with a boy getting lynched in a remote village in Sabhi? That's where most of us stop, or other reasonably quiet members say, let's not politicize this group and shut up. That's difficult as a narrative. How would you say that we solve that?
Look, I mean, in my view, I think one of the problems with the liberals has been that that's precisely where we've stopped. We've stopped at
fighting with each other on WhatsApp groups.
Or even better, I'm branded a communist.
Yeah.
For whatever joy that means.
Yeah, anyone who's slightly.
If you're not right to right, then
You're a communist.
And this is what
I'm from Grammar School. The school we have very differently, but I face this every day.
today itself, there's a news circulating about a church in Guwahati, I think possibly one of the non-Muslims, which has not allowed Saraswati Puja being done by force. But there's a big furor about why shouldn't it be done? If you're okay with saying Merry Christmas and keep a Santa in the school, why not do Saraswati Puja? I mean, we've done that all our lives, but never as a religion gesture.
So, I mean, my suggestion here is that we sort of, pick our battles. Because ultimately, I think what's happening is people on the liberal side are getting exhausted just fighting on the WhatsApp. Right? And our biggest form of action is that we walk out of the WhatsApp. We say, "Aapne chhod diya." But that doesn't really solve anything because then, the people who are espousing that ideology are only and only doing that. My larger issue, and this may not answer your question directly, is that I think somewhere we've all forgotten to, sort of push the values that we stand for. Right? What is the counter to this? What is the, sort of where are the values that we've stood for? Where have we made the effort to reiterate why we're believing in the values that we are? Unfortunately, what has happened is there's such a vast sort of void in the political discourse that we have, where there's only one dominant ideology which is dictating everything. So even a Congress or even a Trinamool will be forced to speak that language somewhere or the other. So we say
So,
Hindutva.
look, Kunal, I think a lot of you would want to answer this question without naming the political parties. A lot of them are dabbling in competitive communalism, right? To get accepted by the larger masses. Okay, like if they are making, like, say, if they feel that if it makes sense for Rahul Gandhi to do everything hopping, that would earn them more brownie points. So, in such a scenario, where political parties are themselves competing with the BJP to take center stage and trying to say, oh, okay, no, he wears the, I mean, what's it called, the thread or whatever. So here, instead of fighting about local issues or about people's issues, what they're doing is they're just dabbling in religion. Yeah, they're just dabbling in, very, very militant kind of. So, in such an environment, how do we counter it? Like-minded people who studied in convents or forward-looking schools, or because we studied in schools with Christian ethos. Religion was never really.
Same thing.
Yeah. So, how do we?
I think somewhere we all have to realize that the answer can't be in political parties alone. Right? The political parties, the problem is the political discourse of the country is changed. Where if you don't speak of Hindus or speak in favor of Hindus, it's very easy now to be typecasted as anti-Hindu, which is the fear that everyone has, and I can name political parties from the Congress to the Trinamool here. I mean, everyone doesn't want to be categorized as sort of anti-Hindu at all. So I think somewhere people beyond the political spectrum, people like us, people in the civil society, have to somewhere also step up and say, okay, this is the time that the house is now on fire. You can't sit back and just exit the WhatsApp group and say fire on check. Somewhere I think we all need to, and I'm not saying individually, but I think collectively people who have the privilege need to step up, need to say, okay, how do we counter it? The counter can be, as I said, sort of reiterating the values that we stood for. For instance, and I keep saying this, I mean, we've forgotten the legacy of Gandhi as it was. So what we've done is the newer generations don't really know much. I mean, they'll read a bit here and there, but we've let the school textbook do all the talking. Beyond the school textbook, there is nothing to keep them alive. But on the other hand, this is what they're doing to Gandhi. So a younger guy who's in India at this point is 50% of India is under 25. So younger kids who are not getting, to see Gandhi's view, Gandhi's life, his legacy, they're all seeing this on YouTube. They're all seeing this on Instagram. So that void that I'm talking about is then fulfilled by people like that. Which is why I'm saying that I think we all need to engage in understanding what are the values that we stand for and reiterate them and how do we do it. We need to collectively do this. Fighting on WhatsApp alone is not going to solve the issue. Keep in mind.
I just have a point, just at the thing is, despite all these things happening in our country, if we look at the numbers, more than 50% of the Hindus, they actually do not vote for the Hindu. So that is a right. But at the same time, I'm just telling you the story. Why I get so scared. My son goes to a government school in the city. He's in class 8. He was telling me that after their prayers, there are boys in the army of boys who are shouting Jai Shri Ram, and they have been told that you are not supposed to do this. You should keep your religion back home. But they are not listening. They are repeating that. So this is very scary. Say when I was growing up, I used to be a cricket. I was a loving place holder. So I had Imran Khan photograph in my room, and I had my sister. She was 6 years older than me. She was not interested in cricket, but she also loved Imran Khan. So she also had an Imran Khan picture. But today the problem is that when the kids play in the ground, whenever there are 12 kids, 6 this side, 6 that side, they always try to ensure the weaker team is called Pakistan. So, this narrative, you remember, in Calcutta, Salim Malik, he came and there was a fantastic cricket match. I was there on the ground that day in class 8 or 9. So he scored, 66 runs in the last 6 overs and Pakistan won the match. And the entire team loved us and they complimented Salim Malik. So that is not happening anymore. I just try to narrate these stories, and again, what you were telling us about Ram Navami. Ram Navami was a kind of a distant phenomenon. Here in West Bengal, being a journalist, you know that Ram Navami is also very much here. And this Jai Shri Ram war cries can be heard everywhere. But having seen all these things, just to complement whatever you were describing, but I think the political parties have a major role to play. That we cannot, a few privileged people sitting here discussing, then having some good food and going back, that will not solve the problem. How many of us will go out or will actually face these zeros is something, very doubtful. Here, it is, I sincerely believe that it is the responsibility of the political parties that they will have to, because when you talk about Gandhi, why you are worried about, they are not only demonizing Gandhi alone. Nehru, the most secular man that India has ever produced, say that the temples of modern India will be the IITs and this, so he is being called a Muslim. So this entire narrative, this is a very, very political RSS BJP combined narrative, and the only way that can be fought is with the political parties coming up and doing something. And I'm very sad. I don't see much hope right now. I would say next 15 years, probably we'll have to chill this. In 15 years, maybe a very long period of my life. History. And history, 15 साल क्या है? ये लोग ज़्यादा दिन रह नहीं पाएंगे. लेकिन, the politics has to come up with a response, and that is not happening. And few privileged people like us cannot do much.
But my issue there is that we're clearly seeing political players are not able to respond to this. Right? They're succumbing to their own pressure and influence. How long are we going to sit back and wait? कि कोई तो करेगा, someone will do this. I'm saying we all carry pockets of privilege. We're all carrying pockets of privilege in some form or the other. At least the people sitting in this room. It can be something as simple as supporting someone who's doing good work. Right? So you please go back and support independent media.